How's it going, everybody? Josh here with Dedicated Health, and today we're going to be doing a product review with our newest supplement guy with Dedicated Health, Chip Skylar. His shiny smile and me are going to be talking about Exalt. So if you want to know about the newest pre-workout at the Dedicated Pro Shop, then stay tuned and find out how this can help your gains immensely. Okay, so all joking aside, his real name is Keith, and he is the newest member of the DH team, and I'm so happy to have you aboard. Thank you for joining us, Keith. He is our supplement guru, and he's going to be able to tell us exactly what we're looking at right here and why we chose this specific pre-workout to add to our lineup, because it fit a very specific niche. Now, we have some pretty hard stuff, like Defiant, stuff along that lines, but for people like us, me and Keith, who don't really need a lot of stimulants, we need something more in the middle. So why do we go with this one exactly?
Okay, so whenever it comes to a pre-workout, there are three things that I really look for specifically. The first side is your energy and performance side. The second side is your pump supportives, arguably one of the most important to people like me and you. And then the third side are your focus agents. So touching on the energy and performance side of things, one of my favorite things about Exalt is that it only has 257 milligrams of caffeine, and 157 milligrams of that caffeine is from organic caffeine, which is essentially coffee bean espresso extract.
Which I love, because if you're used to like your bangs and your stuff like that, you can still feel this pretty well. It's a completely different caffeine substance, so your body hasn't built a tolerance to it as much.
It also takes a lot longer for your body to build a tolerance to organic caffeine. As well as on the other side of the performance thing, it also contains betaine anhydrous, which it helps buffer lactic acid in the way that beta-alanine is supposed to. But beta-alanine needs to be present in your body for a lot longer than betaine does. So you get a little bit more of an endurance factor, that you don't get necessarily the same tingle that you get off beta-alanine, but you still get the extra added workout time.
So if you don't like that tingly feeling, then this is going to be one of your best friends. And the thing about beta-alanine is if you're feeling that tingly feeling, that means it's not actually doing anything for you yet. So you kind of get to skip that whole nonsense and actually get the desired effect of beta-alanine without the jitters.
And then we're going to get into what I consider the most important part, which is the pump and blood flow supportives. I said one of my favorite things about it is that it only has 257 milligrams of caffeine. One of the reasons why that's one of my favorite things about it is caffeine is actually a vasoconstrictor, which means that the more caffeine that you have pumping through your body, the harder it is for your body to produce that nitric oxide, which dilates your blood vessels, which gets you a better pump. So in addition to being a little bit lower on the caffeine side of things, it contains glycerol in it. Glycerol, whenever you pair it with Himalayan pink salt, it helps pull that excess water that sits on top of the muscle down into the muscle group that you're working, which not only does it give you a more full look, but it also helps pull those veins to the surface with that Himalayan pink salt, so it gives you what's considered a little bit more of a dry pump.
Which is very useful for anyone who's not only wanting to look good while they're working out and for a little while after, because those kind of pumps last longer. It's also going to be useful because the more blood flow you get to the specific muscle that you're working, the more nutrients you're going to get to it, which means it's going to promote more growth. Arnold used to talk about it all the time, chasing the pump. Now we have found that it's not necessarily the goal of the workout every time to just go and get a good pump. You need some heavy weights and stuff like that built in too, but this will help you get more of that pump and blood flow to it that helps with recovery and growth as well.
And while we're talking about that extra blood flow supportives, another ingredient in it is called nitrosogen, which is an arginine silicate. L-arginine is really important because it's your body's #1 nitric oxide precursor. Basically, it's the amino acid that converts your body's nitrates that you get from the things that you eat into nitric oxide, which pumps more blood to the muscle group that you're working. And as Josh just stated, more blood equals more nutrients, which equals faster recovery. Moving on from the pump side of things, we then have all of your nootropic focus agents. Focus agents, to me, are extremely important because the most difficult thing to develop that first year that you're in the gym, or even that second or third year, is that mind to muscle connection. You can spend 3+ hours in the gym, but if you're not getting a good mind to muscle connection, you're not properly working that muscle group and getting the max benefits that you could. One other thing that I like about Exalt, and the fact that it includes both alpha GPC and neurofactor, which are focus agents, is that typically you only find focus agents in pre-workouts that are upwards of 350 milligrams of caffeine, which means that you're already completely energized out of your mind, stimmed out of your mind, so the focus agents are just to help offset the caffeine on that. This has low enough caffeine and enough focus agents that you're not just offsetting, you're improving your focus in the gym to help you get that better mind-muscle connection.
Which is vital. If you don't have a good connection with your muscles when you're working them, you're never going to develop those hard muscles that you feel a lot of bodybuilders have. Like, you might grow your muscles, but they won't have that pure muscle density that a lot of people are seeking after. That hard, like, very shapely looking muscle can only be achieved if you have a good connection with the muscle. Along with that, this also has some hydrating factors, such as the pink Himalayan salt, which helps you with electrolytes and stuff along those lines. Apart from how amazing this was also made by an Olympian. It was specifically for an Olympian.
Yep, it was made by 2019 Mr. Olympia champion Brandon Curry. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He's absolutely massive.
Massive man.
But, and that is one of the main reasons why it has a primary focus on nootropics, which, as I stated, are focus agents, because anybody who has gone really far in the weightlifting or bodybuilding game knows that mind and muscle connection comes first, and caffeine and a crazy amount of stimulants should come last.
100%. In fact, a ridiculous amount of stimulants can actually hold you back from reaching your goals, because it is going to block some of that blood flow. On top of that, the more important thing that I found, because I've actually been using this pre-workout, is it doesn't have the same kind of like post-workout crash that you get with a lot of your workouts, pre-workouts, especially ones that are primarily only what was the name of that caffeine again?
Caffeine anhydrous.
Anhydrous. That one has a severe crash afterwards. This one, not only you keep a very positive mood the whole time, you're very focused, and you feel the energy that you want, but it's not so overbearing that you have that huge crash at the end. You more just have a very steady, I'm ready to do this, and you're really focused on what you're doing, feeling throughout it. Would you say you feel the same way when you use it?
Yeah, 100%. Anytime you're looking at any sort of stimulant product, you're always gonna wanna go with one that has less amount of caffeine anhydrous and more amounts of other caffeine. Caffeine anhydrous is the absolute cheapest form of caffeine, which is why it immediately spikes your energy level and then immediately drops your energy level, leaving for a lot harder of a crash. Whereas other types of caffeine, like organic caffeine and dicaffeine malate, have a little bit more of a sustained release effect, so you're not essentially just dropping your energy level off a cliff.
Which is pretty vital, because I don't know about you, but after I get done with my workout, I still have a life to live. There's other stuff you have to do out there, and I don't like going through life feeling like I need another scoop of pre-workout just to get through it. The last thing I do want to cover about the pre-workout is, although this is a great pre-workout and it is amazing for what it is, we do always recommend that you use this as it is intended. Pre-workout is meant to be used for when you need it. It is not something you use every time you work out. It's just like anything, if you use it too often, you diminish the effect of it, and over a long period of time, you're gonna have to increase the amount that you use to the point where you're double scooping or scooping and a half, defiant, and not something you should be doing to your body. And we always like to preach the positives and negatives of all these kind of things, and having a dependency on these type of products is never the way to go. However, if you're looking for something you can take all the time, you could always look for a non-stim version, such as Opedium, which we will do a product review on that later. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about our friends here?
The only thing I wanted to say was, if you guys are interested in the product or have any more questions, I will always be at the front desk Monday through Friday here at Dedicated. You can ask me any question you want. I'm kind of a supplement nerd about this stuff, and the price on this guy is $39.99.
It is pretty awesome, and it's yellow, so I mean, you can't go wrong with that. The flavor is pretty dang good too. Comes in 3. The Mountain Mist, which we decided was like a Sierra Mist kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid between a Mountain Dew and a Sierra Mist.
gummy candy, which you've had, if you've ever had any supplement, you've tried that.
Yeah.
And of course, Blue Ice Pop, again, you've tried it before. But they are pretty good. It covers the stimulants pretty well, which is a pretty rare thing to say. But I highly recommend checking out. I recommend talking to our buddy Keith here if you have any more questions. And if you like this video, let us know by leaving a like and hitting the subscribe button, because we do post a new video every Sunday at noon. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments. But until next time, stay dedicated.